Good afternoon, student. I hope you all are fine. Today I am come up with another video that is on traditional file processing system versus a database management system. I, Aditi Purohit, Assistant Professor in Sagar Institute of Research and Technology, Bhopal. So let's discuss about our today's topic. These are the content of our today's topic. First, we discuss about traditional file processing system, then its overview, general introductions, then advantages and limitations of traditional file processing system. Then we come up with database management system, components of database management system and their overview, and advantages and disadvantages of database management system. Then, what is traditional file processing system? In a typical or traditional file processing system, each department has its own set of applications and own files designed specifically for those applications. The department itself, working with the data processing staff, set of policies or procedures or standard for the format and maintenance of its file. Computer readable data in file processing are kept in files stored on magnetic disk or tape. This is the diagram of traditional file processing system. Here, each department has its own set of applications and own information are stored in a magnetic disk or tape. To state traditional file processing definition, let us take an example of college where student record for examination stored in one file, admission record is stored on another file, and library record is stored in different file that create many duplicate values like roll number, name, father name, and that create also data duplicacy or data redundancy. This is the overview of traditional file processing system. It stores data of an organization in group of files. Files carry data are independent to each other. COBOL, C and C++ programming languages are used to design these files. Each file contains data for a specific area or department, like library, student fees, and student examination. It is less flexible and has many limitations. It is very difficult to maintain traditional file processing system. If any change in one file, it affects all the files that create burden on the programmer. And files in traditional file processing system are known as flat files. Basically, a flat file stores data in plain text format with one record per line. The different columns in a record are delimited by a comma or a tab to separate these fields. Data stored in flat file have no folders or paths associated with them. These are the advantages of traditional file processing system. Companies mainly use file processing to handle large volume of structured data on a regular basis. File processing design approach was well suited to mainframe hardware and batch input. File processing can be more efficient and cost less than a database management system in certain situations. The design of file processing is more simple than designing a database. File processing costs less and can be more speed than database. We can customize file processing more easily and efficiently than database because files are related with the application and it have all the data needed for applications. These are the limitations of traditional file processing systems. First, separated and isolated data. To make a decision, user might need data from two separate files. First, these files are evaluated by analysts and programmers to determine the specific data required from each file and relationship between the data, and then application could be written in programming language to process and extract the needed data. Then duplication of data. Often same information stored in more than one file. It requires additional storage space, more cost time and money to enter the data more than once. Duplication can lead to loss of data integrity, data dependence. In file processing system, various application programs are data dependent. It means that with change in file processing representation or access techniques, application programs are also affected and need modification. In other words, application programs are dependent on how the data is physically stored and accessed. Data redundancy. Data redundancy occurs when common data of two or more information systems are stored in several places. It requires more storage space. Maintaining and updating the data in several locations is expensive. Data integrity, it refers to validity of data. It can be compromised in number of ways. Human error when data is entered, that occurs when data is transmitted from one computer to another, software bugs or viruses, hardware malfunctions such as disk crashes and natural disaster. Data inconsistency, same attribute may have different values, so it comes under data consistency. Rigid data structure is hard to work with and inflexible. File processing is rigid when compared to typical file processing system. Then simplicity, design of file processing is more simple than designing database. Efficiency, file processing cost can be less and more than database. Customization, you can easily customize file processing system more easily and efficiently than a database. Difficulty in representing data from user's view. To create a user's application for the user, often data from various files must be combined. In file processing system, it was difficult to define the relationship between isolated data in order to meet the customer's requirement. Inflexibility, programming data and data isolation are limited to flexibility of file processing system in providing users and ad hoc information requests. Security. Security of data is low in file-based processing system. Data is maintained in files easily accessible. Then come up with database management system. Basically, a database management system is a system software that allows user to efficiently define, create and maintain and share these databases. Defining a database involves specifying the database, data structures, constants of data to be stored in database. Creating a database involves storing the data on some storage medium that is controlled by database management system. Maintaining a database involves updating the database wherever required to evolve and reflect changes in the database and also generating reports to each change. Sharing a database involves multiple users to access the database. Database also serves as an interface between the database and end users or applications. It provides control access to the data and ensures the data is consistent and correct by defining the rules on them. Application programs accesses the data by sending queries or requests from data in database, and query can be retrieved from the database. These are the example of database management system software: MySQL, MS Access, Database, SQL Server, FOSS examples. This is the diagram of database management system. It provides the interface between the database and user's application. This is the overview of database management system. It is basically a software for creating and maintaining database. It permits firms to relationally manage data from the entire firm. It acts as an interface between application program and physical data files. Separated logical and design view of data solves many problems for the traditional file processing system. Because DBMS are powerful, they require more expensive hardware, software, and data network cables for supporting a multi-user environment. It is more complex than file processing system. Procedures for security, backup, recovery are more complicated and critical. These are the component of database management system. First, data definition language. Its abbreviation is DDL. It specifies contents and structure of database and define each data element. Data manipulation used to process the data in database and data dictionary stores the definition of data element and data characteristics. Then limitations. Then advantages of database. Better support for client server system. In client server system, processing is distributed throughout an organization. Client server requires the power and flexibility of database design. Scalability means that system can be expanded, modified and downsized easily to meet the rapidly changes needs by business enterprises. Economy of scale, inherent efficiency of high volume of processing on large computer. Database designs allow better utilization of hardware. And DBA typically manages the database management system. DBA accesses the overall requirement and maintaining the database for the benefit. Flexible data sharing, data can be shared across the enterprises and allowing more users to view the same information in different ways. Control redundancy, better security, increased programmer productivity, and data independence are also advantages of database management system. Last, come up with disadvantages. High cost of database management system. A database management system is a large and sophisticated piece of software. It is expensive to purchase or lease. High hardware costs, additional memory and processing power may require to run the database management system, resulting in need to upgrade hardware. High programming costs, database management system is complex tool for many features. Programmers should have knowledge to use the system. For this organization has to pay extra or expertise. uh, High conversion cost. Different formats are used in files. When an organization converts to a database system, data is removed from files and loaded into the database. This may be difficult and time consuming. Increased vulnerability. As we know that in DBMS, all files are stored on single database, so chance of data failure become more. Any accidental failure of data may cause loss volume of data. That's it for today. Thank you so much.